Good morning, YouTube. So, Gary from Sandswept Journeys got on my truck this morning to go and run some errands, and I woke up to this. Dead battery. Battery's only about 2 years old. I'm not sure what's going on, but I may have a solution. So a couple years ago when we decided to go on the road, I'm opening my hood. We had a dead battery, had to get a new one, and I had to get a jump in one of the campgrounds that we were in. So the guy that jumped me actually had a little jump box that he put on the battery, and it worked great. So I went out right after that and bought one. Now, I have not used this thing. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the very first time I've used it. So this is going to be like a real quick review to see if this thing actually works. So let's take a look. Okay, so this is what it is. It's the Nexpow, and little zipper here. Like I said, I've never used this thing. I do know it's charged. I took it out a while back and charged it. And what you have in here are some cables, of course, the instructions. But the little device, it's a charging cable. The little device is right here under this flap. This is a 2000 amp, and it's supposed to work all the way up to a 6.7 diesel. Now, this is not the one the gentleman used. He used a different version, but this one had great ratings and reviewed very well. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to push the button here so you can see it. And I don't know if that comes up on camera, but all four of my lights are on. This thing does have a little battery powered flashlight on it. I'm going to turn it off so I don't use too much of the power. And we're going to go hook this thing up, see what happens. Okay, so you'll have to excuse any of the background noises. This is a very impromptu video. I just wanted to see if it would work, and I didn't bring a lot of my camera stuff with me. So the instructions are on the back of this thing, and it says to plug it in. It only goes in one way, like this. Then you hook it up to the battery cables, and it says you have to push the button or to start the vehicle within 30 seconds. So I'm going to hook it up here. Hopefully we'll get a green indicator. It's flashing green now. It's supposed to go solid green. And then once it does that, then you have 30 seconds to start the vehicle. It's hooked up good here. We do have a solid green light. And I'm going to go start up. Hey, how about that? That thing actually worked. I'm impressed. I wasn't sure if it was going to do it, especially when I first hit the key. Yeah, that's the device. I'm really kind of shocked. Now, I did make sure it had a full charge. I do take it out periodically and charge it when I clean out the back of my truck. I try to do it every few months just to top it off. It does a lot of other stuff too. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. Coming back inside the truck here, and I'm just gonna let my truck idle because I had to go get the battery checked. And but it's a pretty cool little device. I'm gonna do a little bit more information on it and let you know in the description what it is, where you can find it. I'm not sponsored. I don't have an affiliate site or location or anything. So, but again, it's the Nexpow. I think I have it upside down. Nexpow 2000A, and did a great job. It did a great job. This is a 2019 Ram 2500 with the 6.4 Hemi, and like I said, that battery was dead. It would just click. It wouldn't do anything. Had enough power to open the windows. That was, or unlock the doors. That was about it. So I'm actually pretty happy with it. It did a good job. So again, let me finish this process, and I'll check back with you. All right, I'm in the truck here. I don't have much with me as far as equipment, just my phone. So again, background noises may be a thing. I'm just gonna scroll through my menu here and see what's happening with my charging system. I'm showing 14.3, so my alternator is working just fine. I don't know what's going on with that battery. Like I said, it's probably only about 18 months, maybe 2 years old. I'm gonna have to pull the receipt. I do remember we were in Hilton Head when I had to do it. We were on a trip. So I'm gonna check at the auto parts store. It came from AutoZone. I'm gonna go there and have them check it out. I do have a 3-year replacement on that, so we'll see how that goes. Again, looks like the alternator's working, so it's got to be something with the battery. I did check the cables, everything else is good. Okay, so I'm gonna run inside here, and like I said, we are not currently in our rig. Our rig is in the shop getting repair done. So we're staying with our niece. Thank goodness for family and relatives, but I'm gonna run over to AutoZone now and get that thing checked out, and I'll take you along with me. So, leaving Advanced Auto Parts, and they tested the battery and said it's fine. So their policy obviously is if it's test fine, then there's nothing they can do about it. So they recommended that I leave, drive around, see if it does it again. If it does it again, then of course bring it back and they'll test it again. The battery, I think, is getting weak. It's getting to the point where it's starting to lose a cell and probably going to start to fail. So we'll see what happens. Again, they're not going to do anything about it today, so I don't have to go out of town for a few more days. I'm hoping this truck doesn't leave me stranded because of this battery, but we'll find out. So I will say the little Nexpow booster that I got, definitely worth the investment. It worked out very well. It cranked the truck up no problem, and I'm gonna make sure it's fully charged and keep it with me, obviously, for the next few days in case it gets stuck again somewhere. I have to jump this thing off, and I have a feeling that it's going to be failing again. This has all the indications of either a battery dropping a cell, or the truck has a short or a light or something that's staying on. But the funny thing is that when my headlight was acting up, I would have a little LED headlight that would stay on in there for days on end, and it never bothered the battery. It never was an issue. I've looked at everything inside. Everything is off. So to me, that indicates that there's some form of draw going to the battery that I'm not aware of, or the battery's losing a cell, which to me is what is more than likely happening. So I'm going to go home and see if I can track down my multimeter and see if there's any charge, any draw on this thing. But I can't imagine that there is. So here I am, Advanced Auto Parts, changing my battery. It was bad. Got the new one right down here, and I'm putting it in. Hey, so quick little update on the truck. Everything's fine. Had the battery replaced. Everything's been perfect ever since. I did check for parasitic draw, like I've already discussed, and was not an issue. Was not an issue. So I do want to touch on that Nexpow jump starter. That thing is crazy how well it works. I'm very impressed with it, very happy with it. Glad I purchased it. And when I get back to the house later, I'm going to actually sit down and go over a little bit more of the features that it has, because it does a lot more than just work as a battery booster. It actually is like a little battery bank. It's got several outputs on it, and I'm going to cover that real quick here whenever I get to the house. All right, let's talk about this little Nexpow 2000 amp jump box. Comes in a nice little case. It's like a canvas or a nylon, and it's got foam in it. It's kind of rigid. It's nice. It's got enough room in it to hold the devices and all the cables and stuff. Unzip it here. So what you have on the top is the cables themselves, And the cables are nice. I'm not sure what gauge wire this is. It says it right on here. It says it's 8 gauge right here, and they work well. The clamps are well made. They're good size, and they've got a good spring to them. The instructions are on the bottom of this device right here. It tells you what it is, jumper cable LED working status description. It tells you what the lights are. And when you plug this thing in, there's a light right here that comes on. That light turns green, and it's blinking when you first plug it in. And then it'll go to green when you put it on the battery, let you know you're ready. Once it's connected, you've got about 30 seconds, according to the instructions, to go start the vehicle. If you get a red light, that red light tells you that you either connected wrong or it needs to be charged. And you get an audible tone or beep with that as well. So I'm going to plug it in and show you what that looks like. The other thing you get in here is power cable and, of course, the instructions right here. The instructions are nice, very easy to read, very simple. The most important part of this one right here is the technical specs. So quick rundown of the specs. Battery capacity is 66.6 watt hours. The USB-C in and out port is 5 volt, 3 amp. The USB output 1 is 5 volt, 9 volt, and 12 volt. USB output 2 is 5 volt, 2.1 amp. The DC output is 12 volt, 10 amp. Your peak current is 2000 amps. Your charging time is approximately 6 hours. It's pretty accurate because I did charge it from almost dead not too long ago. It tells you operating temperature. It tells you the weight. It weighs about 2 pounds. It's 24.87 ounces. Okay, it talks about more stuff, charging the battery and stuff. And it gives you a layout, what's going on in the instructions. If you come over a few pages, it tells you about the LED lights, how to hook it up. So the instructions are pretty well written, and they do a good job. They tell you about the beeping, the audible beep that you get in there. And it also goes into how to charge this from a cigarette lighter. So you can charge it in your car after, as long as your alternator is working, charge it in your car and boost it back up. So you have to jump it back off again later. It'll work for you. And it also has SOS mode on the flashlight and the strobe and all of those things. So I'll go ahead and set that up for you and show you how it works. Long press, hold the flashlight button, and it comes on. Pretty much showed you that already. And there's the flashlight mode. Okay. Okay, one more time. Press it again. And I don't know why they put SOS things on these, but it's on there. I guess if you wanted to try to flash somebody down, you got SOS mode on there. And last but not least, you get just a regular strobe. I'm going to push it one more time. And it's just a flashing strobe. To me, this would actually get more attention than anything. Maybe if you're trying to flag somebody down, or maybe wave somebody off if you had to jump your vehicle in the dark on the side of the road. I'm going to turn it off. Long hold turns it off. The flashlight is a nice feature. I think the other ones are a little hokey, but hey, they're on there. Okay, so let's talk about the layout of this thing. Since we're on this side, we'll go ahead and look at it. Output 1, output 2, flashlight, and of course your engine start port is right here. I'll open that up. This is where the cables go in. They are situated so that you can only go in one direction. Can't screw that up. And I'll put that in for just a minute. On this side, you've got your in-out port, which is your USB-C for charging it. And you can also pull out from here. I actually put my phone up just to see if it will charge, and it will. DC outlet output. I don't have a plug to put in there, but I guess you could hook that up to any 12 volt DC plug that goes in there. So let's hook the jumper cables up so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so here's the jumper cables, and if you look, they have a flat spot here and they're round there. So they'll only go in one direction on this thing. So open it up. And line up the prongs, push it in. And as soon as you push it in, you're going to get a flashing green light. I hope you can see that on the camera. It's right there. When you hook this to the battery, that flashing green light will turn solid. If you don't have enough charge, that flashing green light will actually turn red, and you'll get an audible beep out of this if it needs to be recharged. So it does let you know if something's not right. Once it's hooked up, put it on your battery, 30 seconds, start the vehicle. Hopefully it starts for you. So that's some of the features of this thing. It's got a pretty good battery in it. It does a nice job. It charges pretty fast. I'm very happy with it. So, Nexpow 2000, I like it. It's a good one. I am not sponsored. I don't have an affiliate link for it. I'm not getting any compensation for it. I just think it's a good product. I think it would be a good investment. Well, I'm going to put it away. Little Nexpow jump starter. This thing's done a good job for me. Jump started my truck with it a couple times. Jump started another guy's van with it. Did a good job for me. And if you're looking for something like this, it might be worth taking a look at. If you like this video, let me know. Throw me some comments and give me some feedback. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Throw me a subscribe, throw me a like. It really helps me out. Thanks for stopping by. And hey, remember, it's all about the journey.